So we're starting out to make the red velvet cupcakes. We need to weigh out the recipe first, all the ingredients. So you're going to start off by adding the soft butter to the machine bowl like that. Now I'm using the paddle attachment. The paddle attachment will help us to cream the fat and the sugar together. So when you're using this by hand, if you're doing this by hand, you can use the steel bowl with a spatula, with a silicone spatula, or you can just use a electric egg beater as well. So in the soft butter, I'm adding in the sugar next. The sugar is going to basically go in there and keep mixing and mixing till it gets nice, light and fluffy. So that will denote that air has been incorporated into the mixture. Periodically you need to bring down the butter from the sides because it tends to stick to the bowl, and that will be detrimental if you don't bring it down to the sides. You might want to add a little cheat code here. You might want to add the essence to the butter right now, because that additional amount of moisture just helps to cream the butter better. So you might consider adding the essence to the butter at this stage directly instead of adding it to the egg. But if not, you can if this is a larger recipe, you can just continue beating it normally and it should cream well. With a smaller recipe like that, using a few cheat codes here and there, they make a big difference. So yes, so instead of adding the essence to the milkmaid or to the condensed milk, you can add it into the butter at this stage as well. You can notice that the butter is getting very lightish, off-whitish color. That denotes that it's nice and done. It's well creamed. It's well aerated. So you can check it out. So you can see how different this looks, how bubbly and airy this looks. So you're going to scrape all of that back into the center, and we're going to start incorporating the next stage, which is the condensed milk and the vanilla essence together. Now ensure one thing, that all your ingredients are at the same temperature. The condensed milk should not be warm or should not be cold. All of the temperature of all the ingredients should be equal. That will ensure that the batter doesn't get curdled. Pour everything gradually, little by little, until it gets incorporated well into the butter. Now you notice that we are doing this action on a high speed. So initially when we creamed it for about 7 to 10 minutes. Now I'm going to cream it for another 2 to 3 minutes more, till I'm satisfied that the condensed milk is completely mixed with the butter. At this stage I'm going to bring everything down again, release it from the sides of the bowl, bring it down so that it mixes well. Give it another mix, and then I need to fold in the dry ingredients. So when you fold in the dry ingredients, you got to do it at a slower speed than the previous time, a slower speed, so that this gets incorporated. But you don't want to overbeat this, because you don't want to create any stretch in this particular in the gluten at this stage. So you're doing it in a very gentle speed. While it's still mixing, you're going to add in the buttermilk. So that's going to help to aerate the batter without overbeating it. This should take about a minute or two to get done at a slow speed. So in the KitchenAid, this is about speed number 4. Now this is done. I'm just going to bring everything to the center here. This is very important, bring it to the center, because a lot of this residue, if you do not bring it to the center here and mix it manually like that, it does tend to just remain separate, and it'll start to show in your end batter. Now with the color, we need to blow up the color with a little bit of vinegar. So I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon to 1/4 teaspoons of vinegar. This is white synthetic vinegar. So I'm just adding 2 spoons of that. So these are 1/4 teaspoons. Oops. Yep, that's that. So we're going to let this now. You can notice this bubbling there. When I mix it up, it will bubble even more, because this is a mixture of the baking soda, the color, and we're going to blow it up or neutralize this with the help of the vinegar. So now this color is what I'm going to put inside. So I've done this because with powder colors, sometimes they speck, and if you blow it up with the help of vinegar, it tends to not create any specks, and it tends to neutralize very beautifully. So you add it into the machine there at a slow speed. You don't want to overmix this again. So about a minute at speed number 4 in the mixer is really good enough. So once you've added everything inside, you notice that the colors change into this brilliant color. If you have a natural beetroot extract, you can add that as well. That will also give you, we have just added color to create this particular red velvet finish. So I'm just going to mix this up. No matter how much you mix in the machine, you have to give it one mix by hand, so that you're satisfied that it's well incorporated. And this is going to then go into your muffin tray, which is going to be lined with muffin liners, little muffin cups, paper cups. So I'm going to transfer this always, for sake of working in a clean manner, I'm going to transfer this into a piping bag and then pipe it into the muffin trays. It's always cleaner to do it in this style rather than to do it in to do it with the spoon or do it with the spatula, which will create a lot of mess anyway. So I don't want to do that. I want to ensure that this is done in a very clean manner, and I have not wasted any of the batter. I'm going to pipe it in now. So this mixture should roughly make about 8 cupcakes, give or take 8 cupcakes. And this will be, so you're just going to snip off the edge like that, snip off the tip so that you can pipe it in. When you're piping it in, you ensure that you don't pipe more than 3/4. For a cupcake, it's always best to keep it up to half. Sometimes the trays have a mind of their own, so they keep rotating like that. So you can, to avoid that, you can pipe it in the center like this. So there's still batter left inside my piping bag, which is going to fill up two more cupcakes, and we're going to pipe this up. So never more than 3/4, yeah, never more than 3/4. So this is baked. We baked it at 180 degrees Celsius for approximately around 15 to 20 minutes till a skewer in the center comes out clean. To keep these cupcakes moist, we're going to apply a coat of milk wash on top just after they come out of the oven. So we're going to start to make the cream cheese frosting. While we do the cream cheese frosting, the muffins, the red velvet muffins or the cupcakes are going to sit and chill out, and they're going to get really cold. So now what I'm doing now is I'm basically creaming my cream cheese. I'm using a Delecta brand cream cheese. I mean, you can use any brand, it doesn't make a big difference. If you're using Britannia or any saltier cream cheese, ensure that you add adequate amount of sugar to compensate for that. So what I'm doing now is just creaming the essence and the cream cheese together, just making sure that there are no lumps there. The next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the icing sugar. Now the icing sugar is pre-sieved or pre-sifted, and I'm going to add it in. If you are in a if you are in a atmospheric hell like we are in Goa in terms of humidity, you can definitely add in this through a sifter and sift it directly gradually onto your cream cheese. But I'm a little brutish, so I'm going to just mix this up with brute strength and make sure that there are no lumps in it. Yep. And the next stage after you get this really nice and soft is to incorporate the cream. Now I'm using a non-dairy based cream, but if you're using a dairy based cream, you might consider whipping it between 5 to 7 degrees so that it doesn't curdle. So this basically is the cream cheese with the sugar as well as the essence. The last step to add is the cream. So stiffly whipped cream going in 2 parts. We just manually divide it like that. I mean, just eyeball it. You don't need to be specific. Pick up one portion and start to cut and fold that in. So cut and fold, cut and fold, cut and fold, the same technique so that you don't deflate or degas this particular mousse or this particular frosting, so that it doesn't get less in volume. You can do it very gently like this. And the moment you're convinced that all the cream has been incorporated into the cream cheese, go with the second batch of the cream. Once you've done with the cream cheese frosting, you may refrigerate it for up to 7 or 8 hours, and you can even refrigerate it for up to 3 days. That doesn't make a big difference, but not more than 3 days. Every time you need it, you might need to take it out, soften it, and then use it in the piping bag. In our case here, however, I'm not going to keep it for 3 days. I'm just going to use it right away. The moment this cream cheese is ready, I'm going to put it into a piping bag, a disposable piping bag with a star tip nozzle number 6, so that I can pipe this on top of my red velvet cupcakes, and they should look really yummy and really tasty. But this is good to go.